The air smelled like fermented fruit and bad decisions. That was my first impression when I stepped into the alien dwelling. The floor shimmered like spilled oil, walls pulsed faintly as though alive, and the furniture looked stolen from a psychedelic yard sale. Before I could adjust, a small voice cut through the haze. "Are you here to hurt our mom too? She's dying." A little alien girl stood at the doorway, large eyes watery, voice trembling with the kind of sincerity only children and professional liars possess. My heart slammed. What the hell kind of mess had I walked into? I'd come to deliver a routine planetary health survey, not investigate cosmic child abuse. What? No. I'm not here to hurt anybody, I stammered. "She's in there," the girl said, pointing dramatically. "She's on her deathbed. She told me she can't take another pounding like last night." I froze. Her words hit me like a drunk asteroid. The little one tilted her head, confused at my expression. I prayed she meant something medical. Because otherwise, that was the most horrifying innuendo I'd ever heard from a kid. With reluctant steps, I followed her into the chamber. There she was, Mom. A vision of pale green skin sprawled across an amorphous couch. She clutched her head, groaning like a diva in the third act of an opera. "Oh stars," she wailed. "I can't endure the throbbing any longer. My body is quivering from exhaustion, my fluids are unstable. Someone, do something." My jaw dropped. It sounded less like dying and more like afterglow. I glanced at the daughter, but she was nodding seriously, convinced this was mortal agony. "She needs help," the girl whispered. I swallowed hard. "Right. Let me check on her." The mother cracked open an eye, fixing me with a dramatic, smoky stare. Her lips curved faintly. "Are you my rescuer? Or my executioner?" My brain short-circuited. This wasn't the kind of language they'd covered in the interspecies aid manual. She moaned again, loud, long, theatrical. It echoed across the chamber like someone recording an erotic audiobook. "Listen, I'm here to help," I said, trying to sound calm. "What exactly is wrong?" She threw her arm across her forehead with Shakespearean flair. "I'm dying. My body aches, my head pounds, my stomach twists, my mouth is dry. Every breath is torment." I crouched closer, careful not to touch. "Sounds like poisoning. Or maybe fever. Or maybe," she whispered dramatically, "it's the price of pleasure." The little girl tugged my sleeve. "She said she can't survive another night like that. You have to save her." I nearly choked. "Another night? Like, what kind of night?" "Drinking with the sons of Venus," the mother groaned. "So much nectar, so much fire. The pounding drums of celebration, the thrusting rhythms of joy, oh, my poor body couldn't handle it." The words hung heavy in the air. The daughter, still innocent, nodded. "See? She's dying." I pressed my fingers to my temple. Alien hangover. That was all. Not abuse, not tragedy, just one cosmic mom suffering after binging alien liquor. But try explaining hangovers to a kid who thought every groan was a death rattle. I cleared my throat. "Okay. She's not exactly dying. She's just sick from last night." The girl gasped. "Sick from being hurt." I winced. "More like sick from too much fun." Her eyes grew wide. "Fun hurts." "Sometimes," I muttered. The mother shifted, arching her back with a moan. "Help me, handsome stranger. Rub my temples, ease my suffering. I can feel my pulse between my thighs." I snapped upright. Nope. Just, let's find you some water." But she wasn't done. She lifted her head slightly, eyes half-lidded, voice dripping with melodrama. "Water won't quench the fire inside me. I need strong hands. I need tender care. I need a savior who can handle a woman in her final moments." The daughter's voice cut in, dead serious. "She said she wants you to touch her." I flailed. No. That's not. Look, she's exaggerating. She's not dying. She just needs rest. Maybe food. Maybe something." The child narrowed her eyes. If you don't save her, she'll perish. You don't want that on your record, do you? Goddamit. Manipulative little gremlin. I'd been guilt-tripped by my nieces before, but never on an alien planet where innuendo flowed like sewage. The mother groaned again. I can't endure the pounding, the throbbing, the relentless surges of agony. Her voice climbed like a dramatic crescendo. For a second, I half expected applause. My face burned hotter than the room's strange pulsating lights. Okay, I muttered to myself. Just play nurse. Keep it clinical. Don't think about it. I grabbed the nearest container, a strange translucent jug of sparkling liquid, and offered it. Drink. She took it with trembling hands, sipping like it was a lover's kiss. Then she sighed. Oh, it slides down my throat so smoothly. Yes. Yes, that's the relief I craved. I shut my eyes. Why did everything she say sound like a line from an intergalactic porno? The daughter clapped happily. You're saving her. Yeah, I muttered. That's what I'm doing. But as the mom set the jug down and reclined again, she gave me a sly smile. Stay close, human. I may need more personal assistance before the end. I had the sudden, dreadful realization I wasn't just a visitor anymore. I'd been drafted into some cosmic family drama. And this was only the beginning. The little alien girl didn't waste time. She needs the ritual of recovery, she announced like a priest giving last rites. You must prepare the sacred cure. I should have walked out. Instead, I asked the fatal question, what's in it? She pointed to a pile of alien ingredients stacked on the counter. Nothing looked edible. One was shaped like a spiral horn with veins that pulsed faintly. Another resembled a hairy cucumber that twitched if I touched it. And the last item squirmed like a worm trying to escape its own skin. Chop the lust root, she instructed, but only when it's swollen. If you cut too early, the flavor will be flat. If you cut too late, it explodes in your face. I stared at the throbbing vegetable. Of course it does. While I fumbled with a knife, the mother groaned from her couch. Oh stars! I can't take another surge. My body's quaking, my insides twisting, I need release. I almost dropped the blade. Lady, keep it down. I'm trying to cook here. Her voice went breathy. I love a man who cooks. Chop it harder, human. My face burned. I hacked the lust root aggressively until it squirted across the counter like an obscene geyser. The daughter clapped. Perfect. Now boil it with the slime pods until they froth. The pods were gelatinous sacs that pulsed when submerged. I stirred them with a long spoon, the mixture hissing like a cauldron of alien lube. Now chant the prayer, the girl insisted. She shoved a small slate into my hands. The phonetic translation read, Bum tala, shum emigra, pumpa pumpa yeah. I read it out loud reluctantly. The words rolled off my tongue like something I'd be arrested for saying on a bus. The soup bubbled harder with each phrase. The mother moaned again, clutching her stomach. Yes, chant louder. I can feel it inside me. I bit my lips so hard it hurt. This wasn't a ritual, it was interstellar porn disguised as folk medicine. But the daughter looked deadly serious, so I chanted louder until the pot foamed over. The soup finished as a thick, green sludge. I carried it over, praying it wouldn't kill her. She took the bowl, licking the rim before drinking. So thick. So hot. It slides down my throat perfectly. My hand twitched. I nearly threw the spoon at her. The daughter leaned in. Is it working, Mom? The mother slubbed the last drops, wiped her mouth with the back of her hand, then collapsed dramatically. Oh, it's coursing through me. I can feel it spreading everywhere. I muttered under my breath. Good for you. But the girl shook her head. That's only part one. You must do the massage. Massage. I repeated. Her secondary liver is blocked. You must knead it until it flows freely. Before I could object, the mother pulled aside her robe, exposing a glowing organ cluster on her abdomen. Go ahead, human. Use those strong hands. I cursed the stars. With extreme reluctance, I pressed down. The organ pulsed against my palm, hot and squishy. She gasped instantly. Yes. Right there. Harder. Faster. I kneaded awkwardly, my face red as plasma fire. This is strictly medical. Medical ecstasy, she moaned. Don't stop. The daughter was nodding, completely oblivious. That means it's working. I wanted to die. My hands kept moving, her noises got louder, until finally the organ released a rush of fluid into her system with a wet gurgle. She shuddered, then went limp. The girl cheered. She's healing. I pulled back, wiping my palms furiously. That's it. No more rituals. But the kid wasn't finished. She pointed to 2 swollen bulges near her mom's shoulders. You must drain the hydration sacs, or she'll swell. I stared. You want me to? Just squeeze, the girl said seriously. The mother batted her lashes. Don't be gentle. They like pressure. I sighed like a condemned man and gripped one sac. It squirted fluid across my arm in a high-pressure spray. She let out a scream that sounded more like ecstasy than relief. Oh stars, yes. Drain me dry. I drained the second one quickly, both sacs spurting until my sleeves clung to me like wet rags. When I finished, she sagged with a satisfied groan. The daughter patted her hand proudly. She'll live another day, thanks to you. I staggered back, soaked, humiliated, and convinced this was the worst unpaid internship in galactic history. The mother cracked one eye open and smirked. You have very gifted hands, human. Perhaps I should keep you around for my weekends. I always seem to be dying on weekends. I pointed at the door. No chance. You need sleep, not me. She licked her lips. Sleep isn't what I need. I turned to the daughter. Get her some bread, water, and silence. Lots of silence. But I had the sinking feeling this hangover circus wasn't even halfway over. When she finally stopped moaning long enough to sit upright, I thought the ordeal was over. I was wrong. That was just the intermission. She propped herself up like a queen rising from her throne, hair wild, eyes glinting with mischief. You've saved me, she said in a husky tone, but you can't leave yet. You must stay. A woman shouldn't recover alone. I held up both hands. Look, lady, you're not dying. You just need carbs, fluids, and about 8 hours of sleep. Her daughter piped up. Humans think sleep solves everything. But Mom's a romantic. She needs closeness to recover. My stomach dropped. Define closeness. The mom stretched her arms languidly, her robe slipping far more than necessary. Skin on skin. Breath on breath. The kind of closeness that binds souls and loosens knots. I choked. Nope. Not happening. The girl tilted her head. Is this how humans court? By saying no first, then yes later. My eyes widened. No. Humans court by taking someone on a nice walk, maybe dinner. Flowers, nut, whatever this is. The mom chuckled darkly. Flowers wilt. Hands endure. I'd rather be needed than wooed. The daughter looked fascinated. Do humans really kiss with their mouths? That sounds unsanitary. Do you exchange fluids like trading cards? I rubbed my forehead. You don't want the answer to that. She ignored me. What about mating? Mom says humans are slow. She says it takes you all night just to get warmed up. I froze. She said what? The mother smirked shamelessly. I entertained a human once, long ago. Very charming. Terribly inexperienced. I had to teach him where everything was. Heat crawled up my neck. Lady, I didn't come here for story time. Oh, but you're such a good audience, she purred. Would you like to hear my list of lovers? It's interstellar. Before I could object, she launched into it like a stand-up routine. There was the Martian poet who only spoke in haikus. The Venusian twins, very competitive, never slept. A Centauri nobleman who thought foreplay was political debate. Oh, and the Andromedan who could vibrate at 6 different frequencies simultaneously. The daughter clapped. Tell the one about the tentacle musician. I buried my face in my hands. The mom grinned wickedly. Ah, the tentacle musician. Each arm played a different instrument, and yes, he played me too. A whole symphony. By the end I swore I heard God. The daughter turned to me, wide-eyed. Is this what romance is? Loud and messy? Sometimes, I muttered. But mostly it's complicated and disappointing. The mom's gaze locked onto me. And you, human? Do you disappoint, or do you surprise? I stammered, I don't think this is the right time to. She leaned forward, voice dropping low. Every time is the right time when death is near. I pointed at her dramatically. You're not dying. You're hungover. The daughter frowned. She sounds like she's dying. She sounds like she's auditioning for an erotic play, I snapped. The mother giggled, unbothered. You'd be surprised how many of my plays ended with me dying in someone's arms. It sells better that way. I groaned. This is the worst day of my career. She shifted closer, eyes twinkling. Oh, but it could be the best night. Nope. Not doing this. The daughter suddenly asked, Human, do you get married? Or do you just experiment with each other until one collapses? I sputtered. We marry. We commit. We argue about taxes and take turns cleaning bathrooms. That's what relationships are. The mom laughed so hard she nearly fell off the couch. So passion dies in paperwork? No wonder humans drink so much. She leaned toward me again. If I married you, I'd make sure every fight ended in bed. I shot to my feet. Nobody's marrying anyone. The daughter blinked innocently. But don't you want to join the family? You're already massaging her organs and draining her sacs. My whole body locked. That was medical. The mom licked her lips. You keep saying that. You must be in denial. I exhaled sharply. Okay, let's make something clear. I'm not your nurse, I'm not your husband, and I'm definitely not your toy. She leaned back, laughing softly. Denial makes you cuter. The daughter tilted her head. Maybe he's shy. Humans blush when they want mating but don't admit it. I threw my arms up. I'm blushing because your mom won't stop talking about her intergalactic one-night stands. The mom wagged a finger. Correction, they were Mennonite stands. I sank onto a chair, defeated. I swear, if I live through this, I'm writing a handbook, how not to babysit aliens. She smirked knowingly. And yet, you're still here. Maybe you don't want to leave. I shook my head, muttering. You're insufferable. Insatiable, she corrected with a wink. That was it. I needed alcohol myself. Except on this planet, alcohol was probably what started this mess in the first place. By the time I thought the drama had peaked, she demanded one last cure. Only greasy indulgence can banish this torment, she declared with arms outstretched. Bring me the forbidden feast. The daughter nodded gravely. Yes, the grease of the cosmos. It soaks the poison right out. I was done arguing. I scavenged the alien pantry until I found a package that looked suspiciously like fried dough dipped in engine oil. I tossed it onto a tray, added a jug of neon fizz that hissed when opened, and delivered it with all the enthusiasm of a man serving his executioner. She snatched it eagerly, biting into the dough with ecstatic abandon. Oil dripped down her chin as she moaned. Yes. Yes. This is what I needed. Every bite resurrects me. The daughter beamed. She's healing again. More like clogging an artery, I muttered. But sure enough, within minutes she sat straighter, her voice steady, her glow returning. She spread her arms wide like a priestess reborn. I live. Rejoice, my loins sing. I nearly spat my drink. Nobody's loins should be singing at breakfast. She wagged a finger at me. You underestimate the power of a proper feast. Food is love, human. And love is best when messy. The daughter looked up at me with big eyes. You're a hero now. You saved Mom 3 times in one night. I rubbed my temples. Pretty sure I just enabled her hangover habits. But the mother was already sliding closer. Her hand brushed my arm deliberately. Heroes deserve rewards. I jumped back. Nope. Keep your rewards. My reward is going home alive. She smirked. You'd turn down a grateful woman? A woman who just declared you her savior. Yes. I snapped. Because grateful women don't sound like they're auditioning for intergalactic erotica. She laughed like I'd told the funniest joke in the galaxy. Oh, you're delightful. So tense. That makes it better when you break. I grabbed my satchel. I'm leaving. You're cured. Congratulations. Don't call me again. The daughter frowned. But what if she dies tomorrow? I froze mid-step. What do you mean, dies tomorrow? She always says she's dying after weekends, the girl explained. Sometimes after weekdays too. Pretty much whenever she wakes up. My jaw dropped. You're telling me this happens every single time she drinks? Yes, the girl said cheerfully. That's why we keep the rituals ready. Usually she scares away visitors. You lasted longer than most. I turned to the mom slowly. So this wasn't unique? You do this all the time. She winked. Tradition. Why suffer alone when you can make it theatrical? I felt my soul leave my body. You wasted my entire night on a performance. Performance? She said with mock outrage. No, darling. This was intimacy. Bonding. You massaged my liver, drained my sacs, cooked my soup, listened to my love life. That's practically foreplay on my planet. I dropped my bag in horror. That was medical. Not foreplay. She blew me a kiss. Call it what you like. My body remembers. The daughter tugged my sleeve. So you'll come back next weekend, right? She'll be dying again. I threw up my hands. Absolutely not. I'm filing a report. A strongly worded report. The mom smirked knowingly. Reports don't stop loneliness, human. And they don't stop curiosity. You'll think about me tonight. About my stories. About my moans. About the things I didn't tell you. I backed toward the door, muttering, I'll think about therapy. She waved lazily. Therapy's just talking about your mother. You've already done that here. The daughter called out as I left. Wait. At least take the leftover soup. The pot burbled on the counter, releasing a fart-like bubble. I slammed the door behind me. Outside, the cool night air hit me, thick with alien spice and faint laughter from neighbors who had clearly heard everything. One waved from across the street and shouted, She got you too, huh? I trudged away, dripping soup, sack juice, and oil stains. The words never again echoed in my skull, but deep down I knew the universe had a sick sense of humor. Chances were, this wasn't the last time I'd get suckered into an alien family crisis. And sure enough, as my communicator buzzed in my pocket, I saw her name flash across the screen. One message, dripping with drama. Help! I'm dying again. I deleted it instantly. Then, after 3 steps, curiosity got the better of me. I pulled the device back out, stared at the message, and cursed. Because the truth was, I'd already started planning how to survive round 2.